But before we start talking of truth, we have to know that truth is to be achieved in your awareness. It is not a mental projection that I say this is truth, that is truth, but is to be achieved in the human awareness. As they say in Sanskrit, Chetana. In your awareness, you should know the truth. Like you see me now here standing before you. You know fully well that I'm here, that I have a shawl on. You can see it. You can feel it. I'm here before you as truth because your central nervous system relates to you that I'm here. And the truth is like that. Truth has to be felt in your awareness. It is not just somebody giving you a lecture or reading it out from a book or saying this is truth, this is truth. The time has come for human beings that they are not going to accept anything like that. You may accept, but your children will not. And their children will never accept such a thing. So something has to happen to our awareness. That means at this stage where we are, at this stage when we are called as human beings, we have not felt the truth. We have not seen the truth. We are not the truth. That one position one has to accept. If you believe that this is the truth because it is in Ramayana or in some book or that book, then be sure that that truth is nothing but your mental projection. Is not the truth which is reality. So we are not to live with something fantasy or something that is not what we can feel through our central nervous system. So when I talk that the seekers of truth, and I bow to you, I mean to say people who will be honest about it. Those who are not honest, who are just clinging on to certain ideas, are fanatic and think that this is the truth, then I cannot help you. I can just say that come inside, within yourself is placed the truth. And just find it out for yourself because it is your own, it is within you. It is your own, it is within you. Only thing, you have to see it yourself and feel it yourself. The rest of it, the way people have all kinds of things about truth, is something that I feel all the honest people should completely deny. When we became human beings, say, we didn't do anything about it. We just became human beings. It's a simple thing. We did not stand on our heads, or we didn't do anything to become more human and less monkeys. It just happened spontaneously. So one has to understand that our evolution has come through a living process and through the living energy of God. God who is living and not a dead thing that can just give you some ideas and you cling to it which are dead. So the spontaneity of life has to work it out within you. That kind of awareness which makes you higher than what you are. At this stage as human beings, whatever we understand about life, whatever we know about life as truth, maybe, may not be truth. Let's keep it open as that. It may be, may not be. For example, if I tell you something about a country which you have never visited, it may be, may not be. Better go to the country and see for yourself. And that's what one has to do, is to place yourself in such a way, let us see. Keep your minds open to see what is the truth about yourself. Now this truth has been told by many great sages, by prophets and many incarnations who came on earth. As we know, Christ has said about it, Nanaka has said about it, Kabira has said, Lao Tse has said, Buddha has said, everyone has said one thing, which is people, which I should say people neglect and are not bothered about it. And the simple thing is that you have to have your second birth. You have to know yourself. You have to have self-realization. This, every one of them have said it. Instead of that, we are building up something which doesn't lead us there. Take us to that land if somebody says, you just don't do that. You see, it's just an imaginary thing if I say, all right, now close your eyes, off we go to the kingdom of God. It's not that way. Something has to happen in your awareness. Means whatever you are feeling now, you should feel something more than that. You have to become something more. You have to expand more. And that expansion has to come not through just giving you a lecture or talking to you, but by something happening within yourself. As a seed has to become the tree, it has to sprout. As the egg has to become a bird, it has to grow, and then the transformation takes place. In the same way, the truth has to come to you. So what should happen? If the truth has to come, you can't pay for it, you cannot put in any effort. But what should happen when the truth comes? When the truth comes, then you see things in a different way. You are transformed. You are to be transformed. If you are one with the truth, how could you live with falsehood anymore? It's as simple as that. It's a very simple thing. And you know, all living processes are the simplest ones. There's no complication about it. You see, people have made theories and theories, and when I saw them, I was amazed. Now, what all these mountains these people have created for what? Why to climb all these mountains? It's very simple. See, any living process is so simple. Like you breathe, you don't go to books, do you? Or do you consult anybody for that? You just breathe. Do you know this amazing eye that God has made? It has so much in it that all these cameras put together cannot make one eye. And He's made such a great eye within us. And this one that is made has been made through this spontaneous process. It's not done by our own doing at all. It is done spontaneously. So within us is built in, just like in a seed. All the maps of that seed, which it's going to be, whatever trees it is going to be, whatever things it is going to be, is inside that little seed. It is within us. And it is so simple that you have to just put it to the Mother Earth and the seed sprouts. But if you try to read books, it won't. If you try to operate, it won't. If you try to stand on head, it won't. You have to put it to the Mother Earth. Because Mother Earth has the capacity. Is the quality of Mother Earth is such that she knows her job and she can do it. So the simple things are made so difficult that as if to achieve your self-realization must be something you have to waste ages and ages and ages, and then you do it. It has to be a simple thing. Anybody who tells you that Kundalini awakening or Kundalini is a dangerous thing, please beware of such people. Because they are naive or they are unauthorized, they may be unholy people, they want to make money out of it. Kundalini is your own mother. She is your own mother. All the time sticking to you. Means it's an individual mother. Everybody has an individual mother within themselves. And this individual mother gives you this realization, as you will see here in that chart, the sacrum bone is the Kundalini. And this force within us is the residual power. Why? Because it has not yet manifested. It has created the whole thing, but it has not yet manifested. And what is this power? This power is the ultimate desire to be one with the all-pervading divine. It is said there's all-pervading power all around, and that it does everything. The rest is all falsehood. It's only this all-pervading power which achieves everything. For example, the flowers become the fruits. Billions and billions of them. All the time, so many living things are happening. But we just take them for granted. But they say it is done through this all-pervading power. So when this last thing happens, that you become self, when you become that, then only you can feel this all-pervading power as cool breeze around. Now there are people who come around and say, why should we seek? There are some people who say so. But there are a special category of people who are born in the modern times. They are a very special category, those who are seekers, who are not yet satisfied with what they have been doing. They are seekers and seekers of the truth. They are definitely a different category which is not born so many, before. They are a special category of people. As William Blake has called them as men of God, will be born in those days, and they will become prophets. And they will have power to make others prophets. That's what is the time today. And that's why we find so many seekers today all over the world. Of course, as you know, the seekers are misled, exploited, tortured. They have done all kinds of things to them. But still, the seeker remains a seeker. And if he is a seeker, he must find the truth. The time has come for him to find the truth. Within us lies the special power, as I told you, called as Kundalini. Now, this Kundalini is there or not, whether it exists or not, or whether I'm telling you a story or some sort of an imaginary thing. One has to come to right conclusions about things. First of all, you should not accept me blindfolded. Blind faith has no place in Sahaja Yoga. No faith at all. No, we have no faith in people who have blind faith. Because you must come to right conclusion, first of all. As we have now come to a conclusion that it has to be spontaneous happening, a living happening, and it cannot be worked out by us, but the divine has to work it out. If it is a living process, if evolution is a living process, if you have to jump to that higher awareness, then it is the living force which is going to work it out, and if it is so, we cannot do it. Human beings can only do dead work. You can see that. If a tree is dead, you can make it into a tree. But can you make a flower into a fruit? We cannot. It's the living force that does it. In the same way, if anything has to happen to us, it should be spontaneous, for which, as I told you, you cannot pay, you cannot exert yourself, you cannot demand it. Whenever it has to happen, it happens. So first we have to come to right conclusions about things. Secondly, as I told you, you cannot have blind faith about it, about anything. Keep yourself open. You should not deny it. Keep yourself open, because you are seekers of ages. You have been seeking the truth for ages now. So keep yourself open, just don't deny it. Because you follow certain cult or certain things, you should not, because so far you have not found it. If you have not found it, you must keep yourself open to receive. If it is truth, should happen something to you in your own awareness.